everybody, welcome to the second video. It's going to be a bit of a short one since I kind of forgot my, yeah, you get a gimbal, you put your phone in it, it connects to the phone and you forget to push the record button when you're doing stuff, or you trigger it when it's set into photo mode. So I took a lot of very interesting pictures, just no video. Anyway, so I'm in Kapt'n Cook's aft cabin. Sorry for any shaking. It's non-gimbal time. It's charging. I'm in here today. It's Monday, of all things, and there's a bunch of things that I'm doing. Most notably, there's that. That's the wiring for my LTE antennas for the digital yacht box, which is a 4G extender. Bit of a rant and a rave, I guess, on that subject is, let me find the pieces. Oh, good. Found the thing I was looking for today. You get the digital yacht box, which is a 4G extender, and it's a nice product. I know several people that got one that are really enthusiastic about it. Cat's on board. They're super enthusiastic about it, and basically what you get is this box. There is some unhappiness out here. Meow. You're gonna be YouTube famous, Cat Beast. Do you want to be YouTube famous? 1 meow for yes, 2 for no. No? Alright, well. Maybe come take a nap after dinner? Or you're just going to sit there and clean? I see. Alright. Hey, cat. Come. Step 2 of being YouTube famous. Come say hi to the audience. So not interested. If you get any taller, we don't have a place to put you anymore.
Yeah, people are gonna think we have an illegal tiger on our boat.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I said his official name should be Cat Beast Maximus the third, because the first and the second are already taken.
He ate them.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we doing? You going back in? Maybe it's time for after dinner milk or. That sounded like he yawned during.
What is it, kitty?
Food.
There's food in your bowl. Go eat it.
Anyway, cat interlude over. So the digital yacht box is you get the box the Pro version is 2 antennas, cabling, basically all you need. Comes in this pretty nice enclosure. What's actually in it is this little piece of, I guess it's like a PCB without C, printed circuit board without circuits. Inside is another box. This. Alright, so this. It's empty, but on the other side, don't know if you can see it, RUT 240. So, being kind of geeky, I figured I'd stick it in Google and see what I could come up with. Turns out it's a product made by a company called Teltonica. It's a 4G router / modem, which retails for, I think on Amazon or eBay, it's about 140, 150 euros for this. The Digital Yacht Pro version is about 900 euros. So I had to look at the antennas that they ship with the box, and they're about 60 to 80 euros a piece. So let's say 80, it's 160 plus 150 for this is 310 plus the cables that tend to run at about 40 euros per 7-meter thing. So add another 80, we're up to 390. And you're not going to tell me that manufacturing this is basically costs that much money. Yeah. Gotta admit, props to Digital Yacht for doing it, like sourcing the bits and pieces and basically turning it into a product. It's just it sort of plays into my pet peeve where anything with marine or boat in the name is costs about twice as much. So that being said, I gotta flip the camera for a second. Welcome to the guts of the operation. Sorry for this. Yeah, drop the phone. Over here are bog standard 4G box, courtesy of our provider we used at home, which we're still using because they've locked down the SIM card. Then over here, this is a project I've been working on. It's a separate electrical panel with power wires that go to the load output of my solar controller, not straight to the batteries, because then I'd need another 4 or 5 meters of cable. And it at least allows me to independently control this panel, because the master switch doesn't affect this in any way, shape, or form. So, hang on. Meow. Cat interruption. Anyway, interruption over. This, come on camera, focus. It's not focusing very well. Is the circuit board that was in the little 4G box. Underneath it is a Netgear switch, which is sitting here because it's basically the only one that's capable of running on 12 volts, like directly off the electrical panel here. So these two are connected together, so like any internet related stuff is switched on by default. The network cable that disappears in the back actually runs forward to my my nav computer, or the boat brain as I call it. It's connected to this as well, so it's smart enough that if there's an existing internet connection, it doesn't try to use 4G, which is good because there's actually no SIM card in it. That's the Wi-Fi antenna. It's not in the best of spaces or locations because, reasons. What else? There is a nice little bus bar here that I had to, or not a bus bar, terminal bar, that I had to scavenge a little to get continuous power to this. That is the motor controller for my autopilot. Basically, the autopilot computer connects to it here, and it basically tells the motor what to do. The autopilot computer used to be there. It's not anymore because I had to fix a few things, but it's going to go back up, and this panel is going to go back in. So I'll show you the end result. And there we go, the end result. Panel's in. Ignore the labeling on the switches. I need to do up some other labels, but basically the first switch is, or the top switch is the 4G extender, and the network switch Second switch is the autopilot computer. It's currently saying heading 208, which is not entirely correct. We're more like 180-ish. I don't know. I think it's sort of off by a couple degrees, but it hasn't calibrated yet. It won't calibrate until we move. Basically, I need to swing the ship, as they call it, I guess. So the drive controller is always powered. One reason is I had it on the panel before, but when you'd toggle the switch for it, it would basically just, I don't know, something went wrong. Maybe it shorted itself. It's a self-test or something it does. See what's attached to it. But I figured it always having power is a good idea. I may change my mind about that, but then we'll just we'll change it. So other than that, the only thing left to do is the roof bits are in here. But as you can tell, not in here. And yes, there's a whole bunch of random crap laying about in here. I basically need to put these wires back in. Let's find a way to put them under the roof panel, but I don't think there's that much room, so let's go see if we can make that happen. Alrighty then, small update. Oops. It's all in. It's all been taken care of. Since it's my man cave, I get to put all my stuff here. This side, so there's a lot of junk that gets to go, but we have most of the bunk items all set. So sorry for the late video, but with the coronavirus shenanigans, it's been a bit hectic. Unfortunately, it seems Cat Beast Maximus has decided the boat life wasn't for him. He was in last night, and when we went to bed, he was doing his semi-usual thing of sitting on the deck staring at things. And this morning he was not there for food. It's now almost evening, so we haven't seen him all day, which doesn't necessarily mean he's legged it, but chances are he's legged it. We're still hoping he's just taken a gigantic nap on another boat, but well, we'll see. Probably the reason is yesterday I ran the engine. I try to do this every week, at least run it for a couple minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, with a little bit of load on it, just idle it in reverse and pull on the dock lines, just to get everything flowing and all that. So it scared him. He spent the rest of the day sitting in our wardrobe closet behind my jeans, and he didn't want to come out. So he may have decided that all the noise was not for him, and he's going to make the 400-kilometer trek back to his parking lot. We'll see. Anyway, a couple projects that are still ongoing. And we'll get to that. Pretty nice weather today, and there are the gendarmes. Well, the gendarmes are still busy mooring. That is a hole, and it's a very irregular shaped hole because my jigsaw is a piece of shit that I bought for 20 euros, so not surprising. So I had to go the method of just drilling it out and then just wrenching it. It's for the wind instruments. So now I need to go find a file, take some of the crap off, and then put the wind instrument in. Alright, so you've seen the hole. I'm going to put the wind instrument in there and hook it up, see if we get anything, of course. Yep, I'm doing this on a completely windless sunny day, so I won't know if it actually works until the wind picks up. Glorious. Due to some time constraints, I guess I'm going to just end this video here, because I still need to edit it, upload it. It's going to take a little bit, so I'm going to have a toke on my vape. For all you other vapors out there, I'm not sure if it's an Aegis or a Regis. Let me see what it says. Geek Vape. So it's an Aegis or Regis Geek Vape. Of course, now the light gets me, so I'll just lean back. Ugh. Unfortunately, there's a little bit missing here. I tend to break stuff like that. It's supposedly dust and waterproof, which, being on a boat, is probably a good idea. If you like to see more crazy boat projects, stay tuned, because for the next 2 weeks, that's about all you're going to get. Because with the coronavirus, we're not allowed to leave the marina at this point in time. We were going to leave this Saturday, day after tomorrow, actually. We were going to take off, but we're not allowed to leave. Neither is anybody else. Hence the gendarmes. So we'll be staying here at least until March 31st. After that, I don't really know what the plan is, because, well, we didn't really have much of a plan to begin with. So we're probably going to anchor out. We need to try out that new Mantis anchor that we got. I don't think I got footage of that, but we had a 22 kilogram CQR anchor. Yeah, and a friend of ours at the yard has a friend who picked up a 22 kilo, 45 pound Mantis for really cheap. And he asked me if I wanted to buy it, so I said, sure, let me think about that. For a very decent price, let me tell you. So, called him, texted him back a while later saying, like, yeah, sure, no, I'll take it. And he said he had already bought it, and he was going to give it to me as a gift, which is incredibly nice. Kind of, sort of, what do you say to that? I mean, it's not exactly the cheapest of things, even secondhand. But, I guess the karma bank was full, and as Fatty Goodlander is fond of saying, Jah will provide. This anchor happened to be on my Jah list, so there you go. Most of what you're going to get for next week probably is a potential talking head video again, with a little update and maybe some other interesting projects that can be done. And until we can actually go out, there won't be much in the way of sailing videos, I'm afraid. It is what it is. This whole corona lockdown is interesting, to say the least. I'm going to ramble on here a bit, but we're paying extra marina fees that I wasn't really planning on paying. Well, we're getting a discount, so that's good. Can only really go to the supermarket. Everything else is basically off limits. So, with all the limitations in place, life's gotten a bit restrictive, but I guess it's for the best. Anyway, stay safe out there. Hope you don't catch anything, and well, I'll be back.